know him, the greater you. But that happens, you cannot say I'm lifted. Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm lifted. I know I'm lifted. Oh, I'm lifted. Oh, yes, I'm lifted. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is C Faith, your favorite singer and God's princess. So today I'll be talking about a topic I titled How to Become a High Value Person. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like this video, comment and share. Follow me on Instagram at C Faith. So let's begin. Now I'm going to be giving you about 8 ways to become a high value person. All right, so let's start. Number 1 is know your worth. Okay, know your worth. I believe in my previous video, the first video I made, I was speaking about how to boost your self-esteem, and I said something about the first thing to do is to write down those good things, those characteristics about you, those good traits that you love about yourself. Write them down and then tell yourself that, wow, I have these qualities. It doesn't matter what area of your life it is, just write them down and acknowledge the fact that you are valuable. So it's a mentality thing, it's a mindset thing. You have to tell yourself, be optimistic about it, that you are of high value. That's the first thing you need to know. You need to do rather, in order for you to become a high value person. Number 2, set standards and boundaries. Very, very important. If you want to become a high value person, you must understand the importance of setting standards and boundaries. For example, I'm going to give you a very short story. I remember one time that I was looking for a photographer for a particular project I was working on. And so I met this guy and I spoke to him about what I wanted and all that. And he gave me his price. So to me, it was very expensive, although it was due to referrals. Actually, I got to know him and all of that. So I was like, this is really, really costly. You're very expensive. So he told me at the end of the day, he kind of like reduced the amount. But to me, I didn't see the difference in the reduction of the cost. So, and he told me that he can go less than that. That if I cannot afford him, then he's going to give me a contact of one of his colleagues that charges less than what he charges. And so at that moment, I was just like, what? Wait, what? So instantly he gained my respect. Instantly I saw his value and I had to just say, oh, whatever, I'm going to use your friend next time, but let's work with you then. So sometimes for you to make people value you, you have to learn how to set those standards. Okay, it's very, very important, and it could be a little bit adjustable, but to a reasonable extent, let it be a little bit, set the line and don't go less that bar. Don't go less that bar. And also in setting boundaries too, it comes a long way. You should not be available for everyone. And there are some people that I know, for example, I've met few people, you don't joke with them with some abusive words. They get very offended. I have a friend that you cannot just use abusive words on him and say you're joking with him. Like, no, it's not funny. You can't call him mumu, or you cannot call him a goat. So some people, you respect. So when they tell you, like, okay, I'm going to respect your boundaries. So no matter what I say, I'm not saying I'm the one saying it to him, but this is just giving you an example of people that, for example, you cannot even joke with them with certain things. And they're not always available to people like, oh, let's go and hang out. Let's do this, let's do this. They will tell you, I'm sorry. Right now, I'm in my space. So you got to respect that boundary. When people come into people's houses, they don't know how to react. They just overdo things. And sometimes, like, they have to tell you, girl, don't enter my room. Girl, don't wear my clothes. Don't wear my bra. Don't wear my pants. You have to know how to respect that boundary. Very, very important. The third one, number 3, okay, be compassionate and solution-oriented. If you're the type of person that has a great concern for others, instantly you're going to start to gain some sense of some level of value in the eyes of others. That's the truth.
If you're that type of person that when anything happens, for example, there's a problem and you're always bringing solutions to problem, definitely in that your circle or in that field, you will be recognized as a valuable person, as somebody who cannot just be treated anyhow, because you're always providing solutions to problems. You're compassionate, you just care about others. So definitely that instantly makes you a valuable person, a person of high value. Okay, number 4, appearance and self-confidence. Okay, now I know a lot of people say, well, you don't need to look good. Some people say it is good to look good, first impression matters. Some people say dress for success, and I believe in that, because the truth is you cannot actually overemphasize the importance of appearance and dressing and also looking good and having self-confidence. Just take, for example, you go into the hospital, you're looking for somebody who can help you to treat you of whatever affliction you're going through with, or your illness. So everyone is dressing in a normal attire. For example, everyone is dressing in normal attire, and then you're like, where is the doctor? So you recognize the doctor by his appearance. You see that he's going to wear a lab coat, he's going to wear a stethoscope. And so through his appearance, you're able to sense the value in that person. In different fields, this is the way it is. So appearance and the way you dress and the way you carry yourself, your self-confidence, makes you a person of high value. So invest in appearance and also read books on how to boost your self-confidence. We're going to talk about that if it works out for me to bring out the content though. So, but just know how, know that appearance and self-confidence really goes a long way, making a person valuable. Okay. Number 5, demand respect. Demand respect. Now, what do I mean by demand respect? Some people, especially in relationships, a lot of women have swallowed a lot of things, all because they want to be tamed good girls, or they want to be tamed that this person is very respectable, respectful rather. Now, being outspoken is not a crime. And also being that person that, that you are keeping quiet when someone tramps on you or tramples on you, or when someone matches your head and you're keeping quiet, doesn't make you a good girl. It just makes you a dumb person. Okay? So how do you demand respect? For example, someone comes to you and tells you something you don't like, and you go to that person and tell the person, the person does something to you, for example, and you're like, okay, maybe this is really an honest mistake. Maybe this person, it wasn't intentional. And as a reasonable person that you are, you're like, okay, let's just pardon this person for today. And the person does it the second time and even the third time. Now, what you're supposed to do as a reasonable person is to confront this person and tell this person, no, I don't like what you did, and please don't do it again. I don't like how I felt when you did it, and please don't do it again. If they respect you, if they value you, they will give you your respect. So that's where the value comes in. If they value you, they are going to give you the respect. So in other words, if you want to become a high value person, you have to learn how to demand respect in any field. Don't let people treat you less than who you are. Because at the end of the day, you're not feeling great about yourself. Your self-esteem is trampled on, and your self-confidence is just dealt with. So why don't you confront the fears? Have the courage to talk to the person who is maybe abusing you or speaking to you in a way you don't like, and tell them and demand respect from them. And if truly you're valuable, they will definitely throw their respect on you. Respect you rather. Number 6, diligence and passion. Now, obviously, this is self-explanatory. We all know, even the Bible says it, that if you're diligent, you sit before kings and not mean men. So basically, when you're hardworking, you are a valuable person. In any area of your life that you are and you stand out, you're doing the work, you're putting in the work, definitely your value system will automatically increase. So, and obviously, if you're passionate, that also means that people will value you way more. So number 7, education and acquisition of skills. Now, very interesting. See, The world we live in today, most people do well in some fields, very successful, very wealthy, and some of them did not even attain some level of education. So I can understand that fact. But at least, even if you're someone who wants to go into business or you want to go into a particular field or whatever it is, try to at least get primary and secondary. Even if the tertiary, you want to use it to go into skill acquisition, for example, you don't want to waste your time waiting for one organization to give you a course that you don't even want to read. At the end of the day, you just want to answer that you're a graduate. It will be better for you to use that time to go and learn something that will be useful for you, that you really even love. It will be better when it's something that you love to do. Okay, so education cannot be overemphasized. It's very important. And I think that also acquisition of skills would help you to become a person of value in your social circle. I think so. I think that's it. So very important. If you want to become a person of high value, get education or acquire a skill that makes you stand out from the rest of your peers. Number 8, gather experiences and travel. So it is very important that you gather experiences in life if you want to be a valuable person, if you want to become a person of high value, if you want to be a person of high value, right? You need to gather experiences. Now, what is the reason why, for example, if we want an advice or something, why do we go to people who are like the elderly people or people who are like, they have this time of experience in a particular field? Why do we do that? It's because why? They have the experience that we don't have. So we tend to learn from them, and that makes them valuable. So now let me say something about relationships. Okay, when you say gather experiences, a lot of people will immediately tune their mind to relationships. So because your mind already went there when I spoke about gather experiences, and then I have to correct something. I'm not saying that you should date as many people as possible, but I do believe in courtship. Yeah, because back then things are evolving right now. You can't get married to somebody you don't know. At the end of the day, it's gonna end in tears. Amen. You can't get married to somebody you don't know. You have to study the person, see that you guys are compatible. And if you guys are not compatible, you just say, thanks for meeting you. It was nice while it lasted. You don't need to spend the rest of your life with somebody that is the wrong person or somebody you're not compatible with. It's gonna really, 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 really be a very tough situation. So I remember when I was in secondary school, we used to do this social night thing. And every time we do social night thing, that's the time I fall sick. Like sometimes, God forgive me, I always pretend that I'm sick. Because why? I do not want to be out there doing some certain stuff. I just don't feel like, to me, it's okay. So what is this social night thing all about? It's a time where it's more like sex education kind of thing. They don't talk about sex, but they just social gatherings. So they tell you when you go out there, for example, what the things that you would expect. And usually I think it's from the SS classes. The social gathering most times includes the people, the senior class and thereabout. Sometimes everybody. So when it's everybody, the content are limited. But when it's the senior class, like they tend to make it a little bit raw. Like they will call you out. We call it evil basket. In that evil basket, they call your name. You pick something from the basket, and it could be they'll ask you to dance with a guy, and you see some girls shy. No, I don't want to dance. Or they will tell the girl to peck the guy. The girl will be like, no. And if you don't do it, you're going to get a fine. So it was just for us to be free to understand what the world is all about when we actually eventually get out there. But I never participated in any of them because, like I said, I used to pretend that I was sick so that nobody will call me out. All right. Basically, what am I trying to say? There were 3 girls. I don't remember this picture. I don't know if it was in my secondary school. Is it another story? But I remember this vividly. Some girls were called out and they were asked to demonstrate what they were going to do on their first date. I understand, like when you're young, you think that when you meet a guy, when you leave school, secondary school, for example, you're in university, because that's where the adult people are. So when you're in university, you want to start to do things, you want to go to club, you want to have boyfriend immediately, you want to do all those stuff. So we get it. So basically, with the mindset that people had then was like, okay, when you meet a guy, you like him, eventually he's going to marry you, eventually you guys are going to start having kids. But that is not the real reality. Like, it doesn't even work that way. Like, no. In our world today, you don't just meet a guy and automatically you're having expectations that that person is going to be your husband. So, these girls, the first one, they called her out, they called the guy out, they called the second girl and another guy out, the third one, another guy out. So the first girl was asked, what are you going to do on your first date? And she said she's going to tell the guy, I love you so much, so we are good together, I love you. The second said he was going to peck him or kiss him or whatever. The third says he was going to find out what about the guy. So he's going to ask the guy, can you tell me more about you? So our senior, because usually we used to have teachers then that are in charge of those social gatherings. So we had one teacher, I think he was the one that was now analyzing what you're supposed to say. Out of these people, the person that got it was the person that said he's going to know more about the guy. But that doesn't mean that these girls were wrong, because they were naive. They didn't know anything about what relationship is or how to even go about it in the first place. It's just like a baby boy telling the mommy, I want to marry you. Does he even know what marriage is? It's innocent. He doesn't even know what he's saying. So what am I saying? These people are naive people. So when I mean gather experiences, for example, it doesn't mean you can still want to cut somebody to find out who they are, for example, but I would suggest, in order for you not to make mistakes and get your little heart broken, what you need to do is to listen to, read books. If you think you're ready to get into a relationship, I read a book one time. Was it a book or a clip or a video? And this guy is a relationship therapist, and he was saying that the right time for any person to get into a relationship is at when they are 25 years of age, because that time your brain has matured, you've been able to discover yourself, to an extent. And I think it's really, really right. Because at the age of 25, for example, maybe you're already a graduate, probably have your own job, probably you're already doing things for yourself. So at that time, you don't need any man to kind of like define you and tell you this is the route you're supposed to. You've already discovered yourself. You've discovered what makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy. So at that time, when you're choosing somebody or when somebody comes into your life, you're able to say, this is not for me and that's for me. So you can gather these experiences through listening to people who are good in that area, who are experts in teaching on that area, or people who have gone through that stuff and they're telling you this is what you need to do. So this thing is more like I'm digressing from the topic, but how to be a high value person is when you have experience. You don't meet a guy on the first date and you're telling him you love him. When a guy even meets me on the first date and tells me he loves me, I'm looking at you crazy, because those lines don't work anymore. You don't even know me. So you understand? So it's crazy. But maybe he might say it from his innocent mind. That's how he feels. He loves me. And I'm like, brother. So at the end of the day, what am I saying? Experience matters a lot. So to become a high value person is to carry yourself good, to demand respect. As we said, all of those things. So go back to the numbers and try to practice them on yourself, and you will see that your life will change. When you start to apply these simple tips I'm giving you in your life and you're carrying yourself well, you will notice that your life you will be happy with the results you're getting. So I think that brings us to the end of this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.